Hey there, friends. Marcus Stein here, Director of Professional Development with AXI Education Solutions and Cami Superhero. And today, I just want to take a minute to share with you how Cami can be used to support the English language arts classroom, specifically when you're in a remote learning environment. Yeah, we're going to keep doing things like annotating in the text and giving students frequent feedback when they're writing. We're going to continue doing all of those tried and true strategies, but without paper and without the students in front of us. You ready? Let's get into it. So, to share with you how ELA and Cami are best friends and work so well together for remote learning, I'm going to first start by explaining what Cami is. You may or may not know this, but it was originally Notable. It was a Notable PDF annotation app. And eventually, as the classroom just grew and grew to this digital environment, it became a necessity for schools to use, especially as we're going paperless. And in our current state, we're forced to be paperless. So now it's called Cami, and just a heads up, that is Japanese for paper. So it's being used by millions of teachers now. And I, again, am going to share how I and my English teacher friends are using this in our classrooms. So now, where do you get your strategies for teaching English language arts or just teaching kids how to read and write in general? In Louisiana, the first place we go to is our State Department. So I would suggest that for you. And at our State Department, there are instructional strategies here for somebody who is looking for support to teach children. So English teachers, a lot of us, we annotate text. And so our state provides a text annotation guide with some brief instructions on how a teacher would implement it, the importance of it, a video of how to use this strategy, and then directions for how to pull it off. Now, if we were in front of our students, this would be great. Picking up pens and pencils and reading things and marking things together and then thinking about connections and talking about them. But realistically, we can't do this. So we're going to get a little help from Cami, okay? If you've never tried it, never gotten started with Cami, I would say the easiest way is their website, camiapp.com. And then once you're there, you can click sign in and then use your Google account to authenticate. So I'll sign in really quickly. And I'm here. And that process is the same for anybody who wants to use Cami. That's one of many ways to get to it, but it's a good sort of standby if you ever forget how to use this tool, camiapp.com, choose sign in. And then I have to ask myself, what are we reading? And so there's a really great unit in Louisiana about Cajun folktales. I think it's so relevant to our culture here. And so one of those articles that the students have to read is The Giant of La Costa Village. And it's a web-based link. And so the kids read it on the internet. So really easily, the teacher can share this link to Google Classroom. The problem is, can't do my reading strategies. So we're going to turn this into a PDF. I'm using Google Chrome, and all I'm going to do is go up here to my three dots and get to print. And then on the print menu, I'm going to choose my destination as save as PDF. There's some more settings down here if you want to play. Ooh, I don't need the headers and footers. That looks even cleaner. And then I'll go ahead and save that. It'll let you choose the location on your computer. So we'll go ahead and put a 2 behind that. Great, now it's saved. At Cami app, I can then just choose open from my computer. And I wish I had like a trumpet sound, but there it is. There it is. How can we perform this with Cami? So pick up my pencil or pen or Post-it. Well, in my case, I have some markup tools. Let's go ahead and I got a text highlighter. Drawing, in pink. Let's get to drawing. We're going to read everything at least twice. And then the first time we're going to read quickly to get a sense of what this is about. So here we go. There's an old Spanish legend handed down through the years that tells how giants once roamed the land. And so with my pen tool, I can use a touch screen, or if you have, oh, look at that. Automatically, when you make your first edit, it'll give you a little pop-up. Do you want to save this to Drive? I love that about Kami, because when you save it to Drive, it's automatically archiving this with your annotations into Google Drive. So if I, as a student, want to underscore that this is about giants, so then that tells me that this is a fantasy. I can also write a note that this is fiction. And if I truly wanted a post-it, I have the ability to leave comments. And so comments work a lot like post-its. So you can drop a comment dot anywhere on the screen, and there's a little microphone so you can talk the comment if you want to. But this process, this circling, underlining, this marking repetitions or rhetorical signals, all of this I can now do here. And then when I need to collaborate and think about connections with my classmates, I just choose the share button. So let's go ahead and share. And just like with a Google document, I then get a link that I can share with people and they can collaborate and annotate on it as well. So great strategy. I just want to reiterate that now you can do it with no paper and with the markup tools inside of Kami. So I bet you're wondering, how does that process work when you have a classroom? You know, how do you send this to students? How do students get these materials? And so my best advice for teachers is get the document ready for the students in Kami first. So I had the PDF ready. And when you're using a solution like Google Classroom or Schoology or Canvas, you're going to assign that PDF to them like you normally would. You just have to remind them, hey, open that PDF with Kami. Please open that PDF with Kami. It's a good opportunity to point out that if you really want some Kami shortcuts, in the Chrome web store, Kami has some extensions for Google Chrome. And when you add these extensions, it gives you shortcuts. So add the Kami extension, please. Go ahead and add it. What I mean by that is when I'm in my Google Drive and when I'm looking at a PDF, I can right click and automatically get the option to open with Kami. So if I just search for a PDF in my Google Drive, again, I reiterate this so that you can get there faster with your students, you know? So right click, open with, and then you'll have annotate with Kami. So if you're looking for a way to shortcut that, that's a good method. It also has integration with Google Classroom, which we'll get into, but I just want you to know that getting to Kami and getting the PDF in there and simply annotating text, that tried and true strategy, it works. So keep doing it, okay? The next strategy that supports readers and writers is read alouds. Read alouds. So this is for your struggling readers who need to hear things out loud. This is for students with accommodations. You know how to get this PDF inside of Kami. You just put it in here. That's it. But I'll also have you know that it does have a text-to-speech tool. And so the way that works is you can select a short segment. It's reading. I'm just using the microphone. Do you see the words? They're moving. You can also change the voice. And so when you have the tool selected, just make sure you're choosing the appropriate voice for you and it will read it out loud. There's a good opportunity to also point out that if you get stumped with a word, select the dictionary tool and then pick the word, click the word. So it has a lot of features that mimic sort of an immersive reader, but I like that everything's sort of in one place. So with that bona fide reading strategy, read alouds, keep doing it, please. And know that you can keep doing that digitally. You're excited? Yeah. So another part of this lesson, remember, we're talking about these Cajun folk tales. We are in Louisiana reading about our deeply rooted history. And come to find out, last year there was a Rougarou festival. So a festival all about the Louisiana folktale of the Rougarou. So this is a piece of nonfiction that I'm going to use to bolster the fiction or folktale that we're reading. So another piece of reading, but this time it's nonfiction. And earlier I mentioned strategies that the Louisiana Department of Education shares with us. One of those strategies is called Soapstone. Soapstone, if you've never used it, is just a really easy graphic organizer for when you're having trouble synthesizing, what am I reading? Like, who is this about? I'm confused. You've read something like 3 and 4 times and you just can't get it. Try soapstoning it. So notice this is in Google Docs format. If I just click File, Download, you can download any Google Doc into a PDF. So yes, there it is. It's down there. So now coming back to Kami, you remember the website? Go ahead and sign in. And then you can go ahead and open your PDF. Ooh. Now you might be saying, Marcus, it was already in text format. Like I could have just done it in Google Docs. You are absolutely right. You can. But the reason I put it here is because some of our students prefer to process with their voice or with video. And so what I like about Kami is that you can choose to make a video comment, and maybe you don't have the words to type it. And maybe you do have just a moment where you want to say, I think the story was about this. You can capture that in video format and then put that note done on the page rather than text. Also, in contrast to a Google Doc, I want to remind you about that pen tool. You know, sometimes a kid just wants to write. And so go to town with that document like that. Shout out to the math teachers. I get a lot of requests from math teachers about writing on the page and annotating and showing how to solve math problems. So grab that pencil, mark it up, and know that the soapstone is a fantastic strategy. It works. It works. We will try that again. Soapstone works. You just want to give these kids variety when they're completing assignments, especially during a time of distance learning when we're unsure of what's happening at home and we don't have control over their engagement. Okay. Coming back here, I have 1 or 2 more tips for you amazing reading and writing teachers out there, and it is all about gallery walking. All right, a gallery walk. A gallery walk is a great way for students to demonstrate and give feedback on their work. So think of it like a museum, and all of the kids are posting their work and giving each other feedback. Well, a gallery walk can be done very, very easily with Kami because of 2 things. This can be easily done like sharing and collaborating student work because Kami has a share document button. So boom, 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 boom. There it is. There's the link. So I could share that link to the stream on a Google Classroom, to a discussion somewhere in a Google Doc or in a collaborative Google Slides, or post it to my teacher. I mean, the fact that you can get a link and then generate all of those links and gather them all together as a teacher is a great way to create a method for students to just comment and give feedback and grow and learn from each other. So just remember that share button is there. I also want to remind you that in your Google Drive, you are automatically, if you authorize this, when you set it up, you're automatically getting a Kami Uploads folder. And in there are all of the things you've been working on with Kami. So it really is sitting side by side with Google Drive as you work in your documents. You just kind of got to remind yourself to check the floppy disk and make sure all your changes are saving and syncing. But yeah, you can share right here from Google Drive. So you know how to share in Google Drive, or you can share from the document itself. I will also encourage you to check out the similarities and differences between free and premium Kami. There were some things that I used that were premium, but there were some things that I used that were the free version. I'll also encourage you to check out the rest of Kami's tools. They do have a split and merge tool, which will let you chop up your larger PDF documents. And they have an OCR tool, which if you take pictures of paper documents, it'll convert it to readable text. So again, to round things out, these are 4 very popular reading strategies that are helpful when students are in front of us. Keep using them. Don't let the distance stop you, and use Kami as your weapon. Thank you again. And I'm looking forward to hearing about how your new strategies are going with Kami.